What are the major differences between metals and non-metals? Oh my God, this is an ancient question. You have been studying this since, I don't know whenever you started studying, right? And probably many lifetimes all over. See, the differences are numerous. First of all, metals are metals. What does that mean? Metals are usually solid at room temperature, barring very few ones. Like if you take 25 degrees Celsius 1 atmosphere, mercury is the only metal which is liquid. Otherwise, if you increase the temperature a little, cesium, francium, maybe rubidium and even gallium can turn liquid. But otherwise, most of the remaining metals are solids at room temperature. While non-metals could be just anything. They could be solid, they could be liquid, they could be even gaseous. Absolutely any state would be applicable. Metals are usually malleable and ductile. What is malleable? If you beat them, you can make very thin sheets out of metals. If you beat non-metals like carbon, can you make very thin sheets of carbon? No, sorry, you can't. You might be able to make thin sheets of carbons by some other method, but not by beating carbon. It is brittle, it is going to break. So non-metals are not malleable, they are rather brittle. They will break if you beat them by a hammer. Metals are also ductile. If you want to draw them, you can draw them into thin wires. Non-metals are not ductile. You cannot have wires of sulfur or wires of carbon. That is absurd. You don't have them. Sorry. Metals are usually good conductors of heat and electricity. Actually, they are always good conductors of heat and electricity. What about non-metals? Non-metals are usually poor conductors of heat and electricity. There are notable exceptions like diamond is an excellent conductor of heat. On the other hand, graphite is a very good conductor of electricity. But then these are rare exceptions. Otherwise, usually non-metals are poor conductors of heat and electricity, while metals are always good conductors of heat and electricity. Metals are sonorous. They possess a metallic luster or shine. Sonorous means they have a kind of clinging sound when they strike each other. Like when you strike a bell, there is a sound, tang, but then or there is tinkling of coins or something. You don't have similar sounds by non-metals. They are not sonorous and they are not as lustrous as metals often, usually. Then metals generally form cations. Is it? Why? Because they are electropositive. Non-metals generally tend to form anions because they are electronegative. We can just go on, but these are some of the most representative and classic characteristics of metals and non-metals. I'll just move myself aside so that you can copy if you wish. And this is the theory you need. Take a screenshot if you desire.